This
as a
conference
married.
will now be recorded.
Okay. He
Okay.
said, how can we disagree without collateral damage?
How can we disagree?
Yeah, without collateral damage. Like I'm
Collateral
sending you to
damage.
your house, like yapping you too much, talking ill of the other person when we are quarreling.
Okay, disagreeing and yet not being insultive or
Without
something.
collateral damage, without, yeah, yes.
Okay.
And you see, pass the message across.
Okay. There are ways of doing it, and most of the time, when you understand the person you are relating with or that you're in a relationship with, is that's one of the bedrock of having a good relationship. And that way, it's also good to know when to say something and when not. Because when you have a right atmosphere and you are discussing the right thing, most of the time you get a good result. And even when the atmosphere seems not to be favorable and you sense it, one person should be able to step down for one among the party should be able to play the maturity role so that it doesn't degenerate to something that will, tell on their person and destroy the relationship. So understanding is key, and at the same time, you must be able to logically push your matter to an end, a reasonable end that at least will favor both parties. And sometimes when it doesn't favor one, the person should be able to relax and bring up the matter later on. It doesn't have to be, hit it hard at every point until you get the desired result. The desired result may not come at that particular time. One person must be able to wait for it, wait for the other to mature into certain things. And when that is done, I'm sure that a lot of things will go well, and they'll be able to fix up things properly.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's very easy to say understanding when we
Yeah.
talk sometimes, like say in ẹni tó fẹnu ọmọ ṣòfò kì í jàm, like it's easier said than done. Understanding is key.
Abi
Apart from maybe between husband and wife or dating people, boyfriend and girlfriend. Sometimes I'm even among friends too. You will
yeah.
have I don't know, it happens a lot of times to me sometimes when that sometimes you after talking you feel
Mm.
like if I have known I should have just keep my mouth shut and not say anything, allow this thing to die down. Then next
Mm.
time same incident or similar incident might play the way out again. Before you know it, you're already talking.
Okay.
And later it's you now calculate that I should have known, I should have not just I should have just understanding is very I think understanding we can just use what okay when you understand. It takes a lot of time to actually understand.
Yeah.
And during those process, there's still some things that I believe that we should because somebody asked me this question, he just sent me that how can we disagree? I think the person has been having issues and anytime they disagree, blah, 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 blah. And normally our forefathers will say people will say that okay, when a woman is shouting or something, just carry your shirt, walk away from the house. So some women too, they don't actually like that. They
Yeah.
don't like
That
that.
is.
Like you're working out on me, and you still have to understand that one too. So for how long will somebody now understand? Because when you are nagging and
First,
so okay, let me just pick up my shirt, let me stroll out for 10 minutes and come and maybe you don't your body will don't come down. And you're not say,
mm,
you're still working out on now. Another wahala don't
mm,
start. Working out on somebody else, another problem. staying in the house is a problem. So how, because it takes time to actually understand what, because there is a joke on what men want, and a book, and it's okay, page one, men want food, men want submission, men want sex, fam. Then they now create a book that what women want. A lot of pages, nothing was written inside. Like what actually, and now it's like I was saying earlier, it affect both parties. It could be your friend or your boyfriend or girlfriend, or
Mm,
another man or woman. How long will you understand this person?
mm,
What do you have to bring those time before you actually even understand? Because I could be friends with somebody for 5 years because I just barely make or not. You might think I understand the person, but we just meet once a week or twice a week. And when each other person is angry, we go. We now call ourselves on the phone and beg, finish. But now,
mm,
play the scenario back. If people are not living together 247, you can't go for 2 days and call again. You have to see that person in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, every for that
mm.
and it's, I think the person has sent me, I never look at this kind of topic before. As in the person just sent me like without damaging each other ego. I think it's more than before that understanding could play in. What are the things that you think someone could do? I understand understanding, but sometimes when you understand people, how to they change my law, women, we people,
Well, I think
human
one
being,
of the things
we change every day.
one of the things we have to learn, unlearn or relearn is this notion of trying to win an argument every time or win a conversation to yourself. Most of the time, we strive to be the winner in any conversation we get involved in, and you don't know the mind of the other party because at least you are not inside him or her. You are not in his or her thinking faculty to know how he or she will react or respond to you per time. So it's just important that we use our discretion to, know when an argument is getting too heated and be the one to play the mature role of stepping down for somebody. It doesn't cost us our personality, it only enhances it. But maybe people make the mistake of feeling that, hey, and Timbade sorrow, if I did not talk and push this matter to that end and let him see it my way, it may not, the person will not respect you or something. Now, when you allow people to talk, I read a book some years back which actually helped me. It's good for you to listen more to people than to try to talk and make them listen to you. When you're a good listener, people tend to celebrate you. You discover that you have more people that want to talk with you, that want to share things with you as a good listener rather than a good talker. If you are going to be a talker, it should be that you are trying to motivate somebody at a particular time. But when it comes to some discussion, try to listen to the other party. When you play the listening role, at the point you open your mouth to talk, the person is also willing to hear your part of the story and the person will listen. And even when the person now tries to interrupt, allow it because you already have an understanding that, well, this is what I want to achieve, and I'm not trying to prove a superstar to be a superstar in this conversation. You understand? When you take that mature role, it enhances your person in the presence of the other party. And I think somehow you will be able to even win the person at the end of the day by listening. And when your own opinion is raised, the person will be able to like flow with it because he knows that, of course, you are not just speaking trying to make him or her follow what you are saying, because you have been able to listen to his or her side of the story, and then you are coming up with something that is tangible enough to resolve the matter. So I've spoken about understanding, maturity, and then when you notice also
Learning
that
and unlearning.
you are not making the desired impact on the other. it shouldn't cost anything to apologize, to say you are sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to really say this. I don't know what came over me. Okay, sorry. And the sincerity attached to that sorry you say at least will be able to rectify a lot of things. So you must be able to use your discretion. You must be apologetic when need be, and you should not strive to win an argument for whatever reason. Those are
Okay,
the few things
I
I
hear
feel
you.
can be done.
And I will pick from from your last point, and I will tell you my own experience with that last point. We
Okay.
say sorry, sorry. Good morning, Bola. Bola, good morning to you. You are welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You're
Good
welcome.
morning.
We are talking we quickly divert. Wait for the last big topic. We've not taken the last topic yet, but we are trying to discuss a new topic while we wait for some people to come on. We are talking on how to disagree without collateral damage. How to disagree without collateral damage. So that is where you met Mrs. Bukola saying sorry and we learn and unlearn. In my own
Okay.
case, Mrs. Bukola, there is this okay, when you say sorry, I remember vividly. So I use that to advise the young people. I think I've said that too on this platform before. My first 2 years was with my wife was 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 kind of rough. You know, women, we are like I said earlier, people that you have been dating for 5 years, it's different from now that you guys are married and you see each other every day. Anytime anything
Yeah.
goes south, I'm the first person to say sorry. And I remember I'll keep saying
Okay.
sorry, sorry. And she will say, every time you're just saying sorry, 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 sorry. And I got to one day and I said, come, okay, you said I've done this, I've done that. What else do you want to say? Not be sorry, man go say. He said, no, 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 don't tell me sorry. I'm doing that. I then I said, okay, Marvin, you say, Marvin, is it not sorry? I said, what will I now say? So you are talking of disagreement. She's angry. And I'm as a man of the I can't be angry at the same time. Though sometimes I get angry, but I just I say for the first 2 years, I like it took her like almost that 2 years to understand the kind of person I am. That if anything, woman, let's just move on, let's everything. I'll still do the same. I might do the same thing the next. Can you learn? You say sorry today. Now you're saying sorry. Okay, what else do you want me to say? So sometimes I say sorry. Yeah, now, like you said, some party don't want to, like women, most of them they want to win the argument, and men, sharp, sharp, we are done because of a lot of things they bother us. For women, because of yeah, you guys are emotional. You want to show the women's side. You want to cry. You want if you want to cry, you're emotional. Now the man is saying sorry, and you're still saying every time he's sorry, you will say. In that case, what else will you say? You cannot keep quiet. If you keep quiet, she will come and meet again. This is the person I'm talking to. You cannot even say so. I have said sorry 20 times. What else do you want me to say? How do we handle that kind of situation?
Ask her what she wants you to do now. She may be able to give you a reasonable suggestion that will help. Maybe she doesn't want a verbal sorry, but a hug. Ask her.
I should ask her what she wants.
Eh, she may want a hug, and you're telling her with
No,
by
we
word of
passed that.
mouth.
As I said for the first. Okay, okay, I will write that down somewhere. So we passed that
You
stage.
tell
That as I said
her that I've said
for the
sorry, you
first
don't want it. What do you want?
2 years, it
What
was
do
it
you
was tough. Ah, the hug. I remember that to the hug. She might push you away. Must want me to like we should go. Yeah, as in what other way can we? Mrs. Abimbola, are you with
After,
us? Do you have
yes.
any suggestion?
My only suggestion is like we ladies, we just that minute when she's like, sorry, sorry, why is it always sorry you're saying? You can just let her be for that minute. You understand? Like maybe when she's now coming back, is this sorry you're still going to tell me? That's when you can now like hug her or find something else to say. Because that minute when she's saying sorry, 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 that's what you keep saying. Because me, I used to do it though. And you're always telling me sorry. I'll just change it for you one day. Which one is sorry, sorry, sorry? Is this sorry you're going to keep telling me? So the next minute you can just leave me alone that very minute. And I'll now come back and like so sorry you're not looking my father, so I'll be like so that's all Sha, that's what I just feel like.
It is like I said, it's easier said than done. No, all this your let her be, let her be. You people are emotional. I'm trying to be logical here.
Now you cannot
Yes, I
satisfy every
understand. Let
woman.
her be. But it's not every
You
time now
cannot
you let her be because if you let her be too, she will be shouting, you are going again. I'm talking. You don't even care.
the truth is you can never satisfy a woman. Never, never. 1 minute is this trouble, the next minute is another trouble. So that's it,
That's your
Sha.
Okay, I'll be right now. You can never
generalization.
satisfy
I
anything.
don't agree.
Ma,
So let's
You
just
may
ma,
let's
not
just
be
agree
able
that
to
we can never
satisfy
satisfy.
people anyway. Not everyone. The same thing goes for the men.
Okay. Oh.
It's looking like a generalized statement, but there are actually exceptions. In every case, you always have an exception. So that's why I said when the person insists on, okay, why is it sorry, sorry, sorry? Ask the person, what do you now want me to do? What do you want me to do? Because sometimes, we have this um mental picture and words that have been registered in us. It says silence is the best answer for a fool. Eh? And somebody now reads meaning to it that when I'm talking and you keep quiet and you're not responding, you are indirectly telling me I'm a fool. Do you get it? And then another one, a lot of things that that have been cooked up in our brain, in our minds, that just suggest the negative. That when somebody acts like this, it could be this thing that, assumptions that don't exist anywhere. And whenever you find yourself in such environment, one of the things that I believe you should do is to use your discretion at that moment. It doesn't have any ABC laid down rules. Use your discretion at the moment. Whatever the challenge is at that time, I'm sure that something will just leap in your mind for you to do at that point to, curtail that particular thing, or to, suspend it for the moment and then come back to it later. And whatever comes to your mind, please act on it. As long as it is not anything negative that will further destroy the relationship. Hello, are we together?
yes, it's actually true. I admit it what you just said, Sha. Sometimes when you
Yeah.
believe that you are doing it right and the other partner is not admitting that this is what I want, the first thing is you just have to ask, okay, what do you want me to do? So that's
Okay. I left. Okay, I'm back. If you can hear me, good morning. The Bukolas are back in the building. This is Aye.
Good morning. I'm sorry
Good
I
morning.
came late.
You're
You'll be
welcome.
paying fine. Okay, let's go to our last week discussion. I think we spent 20 minutes on that first topic. So let's go to the other topic. The religious barrier. And this has to do with relationship. I will not just say marriage alone. Before we put it on marriage, and we can link it to marriage, but relationship, religious barrier. Like I said, I met a lady I think last year. and she was telling me she's not married, and she was telling me that he has this guy has money, blah 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 blah. But the problem is the guy is from this traditional family and she's scared. She's a Christian. But the guy is, all these our guys, they are educated and they don't really give a damn about what is going on. But the family and tradition, and the girl is scared. I don't want to mention Muslim because we know that Christian and Muslim, we always have barrier issue. Thank God for modern day. All those things have been we put at the past now. I think we two of us have been working closely together lately because of a lot of information that we gather for some period of time. But when it comes to religious barrier, whether Christian or Muslim, what do you have to say? What do you have to say about it? How do we handle this issue of I'm a Muslim, I want to marry a Christian? Where does it come in? How does it going to affect our relationship? Uh, Anybody can talk first. I think Mrs. Ayeni, your
Yes,
mic is on, so
I'm
I,
with
I
you.
think they want you to talk. Everybody just switch off their mic. They want you to talk first. How do we handle the situation?
Anyway, concerning the religious matter in a relationship, if a Christian wants to get married and you want to get married to a Muslim, to me, I don't think it's advisable because both religion, the two religion, I don't think they work together because Christian way of worshiping is quite different from that way of Muslim. And it's very common to Muslim brothers and sisters that they don't like to get married to Christians because they believe if you are a lady, you want to get married to a Muslim brother, I mean like Christian brother, they believe you want to change, the parents will believe want to change their daughter to be a Christian, they will not allow. Likewise, the Muslim brothers, they will want to change the Christian sister to be practicing their religion. Because me as a person, as a Christian, if you really know what you are doing, I cannot, I don't advise a Christian to marry a Muslim brother. Peradventure, if the parents are worshiping maybe Ogun or something, traditional worshippers, if you feel you can go with your partner that you are less concerned, both of you want to practice same religion. Because if you practice different religion, it will bounce back on your children. Because the children, will you divide them? One will be going to mosque, one will be going to church, or one will be practicing a traditional religion. All those things can cause division in the home, and it may not really end well. So it's advisable if religion of the other partner it doesn't suit you, it's better you quit. Leave the person if you know you cannot practice.
This current will now be recorded.
Hello, are we together?
Yes,
Hello?
can hear
Yes, we
you.
are together.
Okay. If you feel you cannot practice the guy's religion, it's better you quit so that you will not have
Yeah, we are
problem in
together.
that.
We can hear you.
Okay, okay. If you feel you can practice your own religion and your husband will be doing his own, if you think that's the best way for you, the person can go ahead. But to me, it's not advisable because it will cause division. The home will be divided. So I don't support it. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you for your point. But I think case is that the husband is a Muslim, and I think most times when the husband understand, like you said, I pinpoint for you what you just said now. Most times the problem are always from the ladies' family, because they know that automatically if you get married to a man, the man might want you to change your religion. But I've seen so
Yes.
many people that I have a brother that is a Muslim, and he married a Christian, and he doesn't stop the wife from going to church, and he doesn't stop the wife taking the children to church.
Hmm.
Are you getting me? Like if they
Yes.
are fasting, and during this fasting now, the father, he doesn't, the children now they are grown up. If they like, even while they are younger, if they like, they will do the fasting during the Muslim, because they are going to wake up when their father wakes up, and the one is going to wake up. She's going to cook for the husband and do sari. So the children are going to wake up at that time. They will do the same fasting with their dad. In the evening, they will break. During Christian fasting too, the same thing. The woman will get to fast till 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock. The children will do the same thing.
Hmm.
But the father did not stop them from going to church.
Hmm.
Yes, I've seen it. The father does not stop them from it. When they are doing their naming ceremony, the father will give them the Muslim name, the mother will give them Christian name.
So we carry out the ceremony.
If you have other name. So any
Pastor or Afa. Oh, oh my God.
so there's a lot of things happening. So I believe most of the time, but now that most of us are most people, the question, I'm still asking the question that most of us don't, when you say religious, we find out that religious has been one of our major problem in this side of the world. Like some of us don't, we've come to realize that whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother people like me. I do business with Muslim, I do business with Christian, I do business with anybody I want to do business with. As long as it's making money and it's going to make sense. So I don't know. so whatever it is, I just do whatever I want to do. Some people still don't have issue with that. So what do you have to say in that case, that if you see somebody that doesn't mind any religion, what advice are you going to give that to that person that doesn't mind religious? We grown up in a family where in the church where they open the scripture to us that what has, I don't they say what light and darkness have nothing to move.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep telling people, not that I hate that side of the scripture, but I find out that most of us we misinterpret that part of the scripture when it favors them. I can't look at my Muslim friend and say you are darkness, because I used to tell people that thank God for God that you are born into a Christian family. What if you are born into a Muslim family and the other party are calling you darkness, and you from Muslim family are looking at the Christian family like they to their darkness, they don't know what they are. I think that part that people used to quote is not meant for that side. You could be Christian, I could be Christian, and you could be darkness if your ways are not pure. So I don't have to meet with you. So what do you have to say? The Bible
Yeah.
scholar people, this is Bukola, what do you have to say about that?
Okay.
Before
That
she
that point reminds me of a woman that got married to Alaji. She's a Christian.
Okay,
And she got married to Alaji. So during Christmas period, the Alaji do buy a cow for Christmas celebration. They do that because the wife is a Christian. But the other two wives, because the man has three wives, so the other two wives during the Muslim festive period, they celebrate that too. So I was like, I don't understand this man, and they are together. So I feel if anybody doesn't mind, if you don't mind that, you can go ahead and do it. You know, it depends on individual differences. Because I can't do that. You know, because the union, for the sake of unity. So I would not like a divided home. So, but for those that doesn't mind, they can go ahead.
If I may come in here. Hello.
Yeah,
If
I'm
I
with
may
you.
come in here, I would just like to say that as individuals, we should be able to live with the consequences of our choices.
Yeah.
We are able to make choice based on our belief, based on our values. And as long as you can live with the consequences of the choice you're making, I don't see anything wrong in it. But one of the things that seems to make people to shy away from this cross-breeded relationship is the fact that some of the things that you think brought you together initially, the moment the marriage is sealed, you now discover that either the man wants the woman converted by fire and by force, or the woman just wants the man to be dragged into her own religion at the end of the day. And when you now have such things coming up, of course, there is no way you will be able to have a peaceful coexistence. And where that peaceful coexistence is lost, attend to that. Where the peaceful coexistence is lost, of course, you know that there will be problem. So if you can live with the consequences of your choice, I don't see anything wrong in it. And as long as far as the family is concerned, it is not the family that will live in your husband's house for you. So the choice should be the person's own, the man, the woman, whatever, or the people in the relationship. The choice is theirs and not of any other third party anywhere. That is the angle I want to come in from.
Please, I have a question to ask, if I may come in. Hello.
Yeah, you said you have a question.
Yes. When Black Moses was talking the other time, he was making mention of those that are how do you even say it? Like when you're trying to generalize the Christian and the Muslim, and you were trying to refer to those that don't believe in Christianity as being black or being dark people. I can't remember how you really place them. Now my question
Darkness
is,
and light.
now not being a Christian, not being a Muslim, not being any kind of worshiper, does that mean that kind of person is evil? Even when the person has a good heart. I don't know if you understand my question. Like the person might not be an evil person, might not be a killer, not be a bad person, but not being any kind of religion person, does that mean that person is evil? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
I think it
Hello.
is in the context of religion. It is in the context of religion that someone is branded evil or not evil. On a good day, if you leave every man to himself or herself, you will discover that we are just men as we are created, as we are made. But things that happen or that we do are the things that tend to, in a way, define us, define who we truly are, whether you live a positive life or you live a negative life. And those things, it is religion, it is under religion that names are given to them. It is religion
Okay.
that places this thing as right and places this thing as wrong under a divinity, a divine personality, divinity, so to speak. So there are people who are just free thinkers. I have a guy that we did a master's together. He doesn't go to church. He doesn't pray the Muslim way. He is just himself. He told us, well, and if you discover that in relating with him, he grew up from a Christian home, but he chose not to go any of the ways. And he just wanted to be himself, to exhibit his own kind of nature till maybe he has another conviction. So that is a path he chose to live. And on a good day, because of the way we are brought up in our various religious settings, we tend to see some things as good and see some things as evil. But I think if somebody has not been bad to you, you cannot label the person darkness and call yourself light. And there are even times when some of our actions provoke somebody who is unable to guide himself or his own reaction to react to us in a negative manner that we now label evil or dark. So those things, we should be able to check them and place a balance where and when necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Hello. It's like we lost Black Moses somewhere. Hello, Black Moses.
Hello.
We cannot hear him.
Yeah, it seems his network is bad.
Yeah. So I think concerning the matter, it's just important for us to know who we are and be able to relate with people at all levels. We should be able to relate with people at all levels, give distance where there is need to, and get as close as you want to, as the need requires you to be. That is the
Yeah.
way I see it.
Thank you,
But
Mrs. Because I
still talking about religion, religiosity. Now, I
Hello?
posted something online. Can we hear it? Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, we're discussing about something last week. It seems last week Wednesday or so, about a friend of mine
Okay.
who is in a relationship with a guy who does not believe in being a Christian, a Muslim, or any other thing. Now, the guy is actually a
Yeah.
nice guy. Excuse me. The guy is actually a nice person with the way I've met him.
Oh,
Do you understand? Now, are you trying
oh.
to? Can we advise that kind of girl to quit that relationship because of the situation around? Because
I
with
think one of
now,
the points one of the points we try to bring up is the fact that the lady in question, what is her standpoint? What are her beliefs? What are the values she holds high as an individual? Now, if you're unable to define your values, if you're unable to know if you cannot differentiate between what you want and what you don't want, you might run into a lot of problems. And now you are in a relationship that even you as an individual, you are afraid. It's not looking like you are confident with the person you are relating with. How do you think you will be able to manage such a relationship when it graduates to something that is going to be a lifetime relationship? Do you understand? Now,
yes,
if you don't believe the person enough that okay, oh, this person the way he is, I am okay with him, I am at peace with him, I can live the rest of my life with him. Marriage is a contract, and it's not just a 2 days contract, 2 months contract, even though we are getting divorced here and there, but that is not actually the sole reason for getting married. Now, marriage is different from any other form of relationship you can think of, because this one, it is a lifetime issue. You get into it, you get into it. When you get out, you become a labeled party in the society. And before you seal it legally, it is still reasonable if you decide to pull out because you are not getting what you really expect. That is the angle I think everyone that spoke that during the week spoke from. And if the person is actually sincere, you will be able to analyze whether you want to live with such. I said earlier that whatever decision you are making, you should be sure that you are willing to live with the consequences of the choices you make. When you take a decision, whatever comes out of it, you should be able to accept it, live with it. If it is something that is not palatable, then you be able to remedy it in a way. So the person should be able to define that and know what she actually wants, and know that, okay, now that I'm getting into this, whatever comes out of it, I will stand and defend it. I will live by it, and I will work with it. When that is done, every other falls in. Are we still together?
Yes.
Yes, we are together.
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome, Black Moses.
I'm
We
listening.
seem
I'm
to
hearing
love
good things. I'm hearing.
to,
I, can, I
but we
love what I'm
hear.
hearing. Me too. Me too. I have question. This is because he said something the other time. He
Yeah.
said something about. He said something about free thinker. You know, there was a question that somebody raised last week. I mean, somebody sent us the same question that we tackled last week about this kind of people who think that the guy doesn't believe maybe going to church or something like that, and he's ready to
Yeah.
marry and stuff like that. But he will tell the lady. I think we discussed on our WhatsApp platform here that we keep talking back and forth. That, okay, we will talk about it. He's a free thinker. Doesn't mean he's an evil person. He doesn't go to church or mosque or he doesn't do any of these religious. But he's a good person. But like he said, Corona is in town. The wife want to be praying that, oh, Father Lord, thank you Corona is the Lord. Guy was like, what concern God with this Corona that you are praying? I bet let's get into the lab and let's find solutions to let everybody live their life. Doesn't mean he's a bad person. But last we talk about it. If
Oh,
you are a woman, can you marry that kind of person? If you are a man, if your woman is like that, can you marry that kind of person? Now we just talk about religious, and this person is not even a religious person. And like you said, he said evil or not evil. It's religious that make us. If you leave us as human being without Christian, Muslim, or traditional, we will live our life normally. The people that will do good, they will do good. The people that will do bad, will do bad. So, but last week, I think we are trying to tell the person that maybe you should not go ahead with that kind of person. You should look very carefully before going into that. But here we are today. We are talking of some people that are fit thinker, people like me that I love
Because
so much.
since she already displayed a level of fear, she's having a fear. And when you go into a relationship with fear, you may not be able to get the best of that relationship. And
Okay.
on a good day, we cannot just tell her, hey, go ahead. There is no problem, because we are not God. You understand? We are not God. We are not one supreme being somewhere that can see the future and tell you this is how it is. But if I said something that whenever you make a choice, or you are trying to make a choice or a decision, you should be ready to live with the consequence of your decision.
yeah.
Like the woman that married a Muslim, for instance. If in the relationship the man now insists that, hey, you must become a Muslim, you must do everything that we do in this zone, I feel that somehow she might already be prepared to do that. And because the man also said, okay, go to church, take the children and all of that, she's just there doing her own thing and enjoying her own life. You understand? But now
Yeah.
this lady in question, if she's not able to reach that point, that decisive point where she can say, hey, this is this thing, this is my way, and I'm going for it, then I
For
think
it.
there is need for a check. She should double check again and be sure she is able to analyze her values clearly before she jump into whatever she eventually comes up with.
Okay.
That's
I
the
want
note of question.
to buttress your point, Mrs. Bola.
Okay.
You see, just like you said, that if the person can live with the consequences, the person can do it. Because even in the Bible, there's a particular verse that talked about this issue I'm talking about. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7. That place it says, if a Christian, if
Okay.
anybody hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with the person, let him not put her away. Same thing.
Put the person away.
Yes, let him not put her
First
away.
Corinthians chapter 7.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 12. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. 13 also say, and the woman which has an husband believeth not, if he please to dwell with her, let her not leave him. So if they feel they can be together, if your conscience is clear, if you have a free mind to go with the person, you can go ahead. Because there's a particular place I want us to go. That verse 15 talks about that they should not depart from each other. That if the unbeliever depart, let him depart. If the person wishes to depart, or a brother or sister is not under the bondage in such cases, because God has just called us to peace. And that place goes further. I cannot be reading. The verse goes further that you never can tell if the believer will build the one to save the unbeliever, the unbelieving sister. So I want to say, if any lady wants to marry a brother from another religion and you feel you can change the person to yourself, you feel you can change the brother to be a Christian, it's a great lie. Because I've seen a case, a friend of mine in Lagos, it happened to the person. She got married to a Muslim brother, so the brother pretended to be a Christian. He started coming to church, and they got married in church. And after the wedding, the brother brought out this thing, the kettle and other things. Now I have you to myself. You have to practice my religion. My friend was crying when she called me. I said, I told you you cannot change him, but you feel you can. So you have to live with it. So if you know you cannot live with such, it's better you don't go ahead. Thank you.
And the relationship you are talking about, the one you read out from the Bible, is a marital relationship already. It is not a question of dating, it's not a question of courtship. Now it's like two people got married while they were not believers, while they were not Christians specifically. And at a point, one of them got converted and the other is not. If they are pleased living together, fine. And if somehow the one that is not converted feels, hey, I am not interested in this
Okay.
relationship anymore, they can part ways. That is the core of that one. It's not just a relationship that has not yielded into marriage. Because this
Okay.
one now is at the other side, not in the act already. That's just the
Mhm.
point of I want to make there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you to the Bible scholar people. Is it the Bible you quote? Is it First Corinthians or First Corinthians?
Corinthians,
Corinthians.
First
Okay.
Corinthians chapter 7.
Thank you for bringing out the Bible passage. Don't mind people like us that don't know Bible passage. We just talk. Don't mind us. Please, we're reading your Bible very well. Though. I think this topic, is if we try to talk from today, I think religious on its own is another. Let me use the word saga. It's another topic on its own, even without bringing into marriage or relationship at all on its own. And religious has so much. Please advise your friend that is crying that the husband has deceived. All she does need to do is just pray. And most of us, I think we need to learn, like Mrs. Bukola said earlier, we need to learn and unlearn. That marriage has been faulted already from the foundation. That marriage has been built on lies. That marriage has been built on lies, and only God can rescue that marriage and her. And how is she going to enjoy the marriage? Is number one, she needs to take, I don't know, I just want to talk. I'm not advising anybody. Number one, she needs to unlearn some things in life or what she has been taught. She needs to unlearn something about religious. My popular verse in the Bible that me too I can quote now is James 1:27. I think it's James 1:27. That true religious is this and that. You can check it out later. I don't know how to quote Bible, but I know the verse. James 1, that's my favorite part of the Bible. So you need to let her know, let her go to James 1:27 and see the meaning of religious. And just see that, like Mrs. Bukola said earlier, we just find ourselves with Christian, Muslim, and all these things. Most of us deep down we are free thinkers. But because we are born into a Christian family or Muslim family, I would tell people that I find myself, me as a person, I find myself lucky. I love to use that word, even though a lot of people don't use that word. Because my family background wasn't a Christian background. It was my own father that converted, and I think he converted at the age of maybe 40 or something, according to one of my brother was telling us the story sometime. At the age of 40 years or something, before he started giving birth, because you have to move from our village in Ekiti down to Lagos. What if my father did not move from a village to Lagos? I would have been in Ekiti worshiping, I don't know the name of our gods there. So I found myself lucky being a Christian family, so I don't have any stress, any problem in converting anybody preaching Jesus to me. Because right from the womb self, na Christian song I dey hear, Odun Yatu, all those things. So I was born into that system and I was raised into that system. So it wasn't difficult. I didn't grow up somebody preaching to me that I have to convert. No, already converted. So everything was easy for me in that aspect. I already know Jesus. And I tell people, what if you are a Muslim, they born into a Muslim family, and a Christian are coming to you? So we need to really unlearn a lot of things and unlearn about religious, even in relationship. It affects us even as an individual in Nigeria before. If anybody, you find out that you don't want to do business with Muslim because you are Christian, you see them, the way they taught us going on, like, oh, these people, they are, once they don't believe in Jesus, you can't do business with them. So and you find out that you want to be doing business with Christian. At the end of the day, Christian going to go on your meet and go on buy. And most of them don't even know how to do business. And we got to find out that most of our Muslim friends as the best friend we ever had. Muslim will go to any length. That's when I started learning that come. People like say this religious na scam. I remember I was staying in an apartment one time in Lagos. Throughout my stay in that 2 years, the man I was using the meter will not allow my father to pay for NEPA bill. And the man are Muslim. If the man traveled, when my father paid that month, when the man comes back, he will give my father double of that money, that next month to use this money and pay if I'm not around. And the man are Muslim. I found the one that say even the Christian that we used to stay together before, the problem they give yourself, you are tiring. So when it comes to that, now the foundation of that marriage has been built on lies. And I won't advise the lady to go and divorce or something like that. But she needs to unlearn something about religion and just face her God. If she needs to face her Jesus, let her face her and keep praying that God just change. You don't need to even pray that God is change his mind. The man want to continue, but the man should not be a bad person. Like we said earlier, free thinker. If the man is doing good, if he's not stingy, will be anybody. I think she should just keep living her life. She should just move her mind away from going. The man must go to church. If the man did not even stop her from going to church, she's lucky. Because the problem, but the man say come and be going to mosque. I think that is when another problem can start. But if the man just tell her that okay, you can be going to your church, but me I'm not going to church. So but if you let them follow me to mosque. I think she's even lucky. She can just be going to church, be doing her thing, and just be flexing her life. She needs to really unlearn a lot of things about that. We know time has not permit us to go into the other topic. Anybody with the final words there before we close? I think we have 3 more minutes to just drop. Who is releasing their microphone now?
I think
Okay.
generally it's important for us to just be able to define ourselves. in the light of what we believe. When you define yourself in the light of what you believe, it helps you to live better, to relate better, and to know your boundaries. To know your boundaries. And when you know your boundaries, you will be able to also curtail some things and to embrace a lot of things. Now, most of the ideas that make us, some of them might be based on our religion, some might be based on just the environment we grew from, the kind of backgrounds we had, and all that, the kind of experiences we have been exposed to in life. So we should be able to check those things as we mature, as we grow. We should be able to learn new things. We should be able to unlearn certain things, and we should be able to relearn and do things in a better way and a more mature way. God expects that from us as much as the world also expects it from us. It will help us a great deal. Thank you.
In addition, I will. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we are
can hear
listening.
you.
In
Yes,
addition,
so I think.
I will ask that the idea
Hello.
of
Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Mrs. Bibola. You will talk for 1 minute. I just want to tell you that those people that are having issue with religious, I think, let me use this medium. I'm not going to change anybody. I just want to use this medium to tell them that they can join us on Tuesday on this same platform, on this link, where there is a class we call Mastermind class. I know a lot of people have not attended yet, but I want you to attend that class. Mastermind on Tuesday, same time, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., same link. Invite them, let them join us. And I think most of this topic, like this religion, we're able to relate into the business life and into our life because Mastermind talks about life generally. I think I think you should invite them. Thank you. You can go ahead now. Mr. Bimbola, you want to say something?
No, I'm
the
not the one. Bukola.
Mrs. Abimbola, your name now confused. I have Bukola, I have Bimbola, I have Bukola.
It's Bukola
Okay,
that is
Mrs. Abimbola is showing here.
Miss Bukola that is talking, not Abimbola.
okay. I just want to talk about the. I want to beg our single sisters and brothers that marriage is not something you can just rush to do because some people get married or because they are getting late, they just want to get married. And you know what you want, but because what you want is not available, you want to make use of what is available. If you are making use of what is available because what you want is not available, I think there's going to be a problem. So let's just try and work on that.
Mrs.
Thank you.
Bimbola, let me hold you there. That's another topic. We can't talk of marriage late today. Let's postpone that to next week. Please join us early next week so that you really want to start this topic. No, no, I have a lot of people that's what I'm saying. I told a lady that I met in December. For her right now, she's late in getting married. So please hold on to that topic. You cannot finish that topic in that 1 minute. Please come early next week. You'll be the one to start this class. I'm writing it down now. Late marriage, please. Miss Olubukola,
Okay,
any word you want to say?
okay.
She's the one that just raised that issue now.
You people are confusing me with your name now, Oluwa. Okay.
It's
I thought that
Olubukola.
was
It's
Abimbola.
Olubukola that just finished speaking. Abimbola already
Oh, okay.
told you one.
Okay, please, let's go back to the WhatsApp forum. You people are now confusing me with your name now. Please, let's end this meeting now. And then let me go further. All I'm seeing here, I see Mrs.
Abio.
Bukola Zekiri, I see Mrs. Abimbola, I see Mrs. Ayenolu Bukola, Oluwa Oshanumi. Please, let's end today's meeting with late marriage. We will start our late marriage next week. Please, Mrs. Ayenolu Bukola, they say now you throw this question. So you are coming early next week to start this question, to start this topic. We'll talk on that. Thank you so much,
Okay.
everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
Thank
time. Thank you so much.
Thank
See you
you.
guys next week, Tuesday and Thursday. Mastermind and Cupid Plus. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Have a wonderful time.
Nice day.
Bye.
Bye.